I'm Professor Joe Wood, and I want to tell you a little bit about our class in Sources of American Political Thought, IWP 608. It's required for all students, a two-credit class taught over the course of an entire semester. The premise of this class is that you need to know, in order to have an effective career in government, in foreign policy, or in the private sector, you need to know why it is that things that you are doing that advance the safety, security, and prosperity of the United States are good. What is it about our polity, our political community as a nation, that is a good thing, that make it worth serving, make it worth devoting your life to? The course is premised again on the idea that the American founding was a very unique moment, a combination of ancient thinking and belief and modern thinking and belief. And it was a combination as well of faith and reason. The people who wrote the American Constitution did not establish a theocracy. They did not establish a divine right monarchy. They established a government based on consent of the governed, a very modern notion. And at the same time, they acknowledged the importance of virtue, which they believed was closely tied to faith. They needed a virtuous citizenry in order to make the freedoms that the Americans were going to have and the equality that we're going to have, in order to make those real, to make them grow over time, and to prevent their decline over time. So they understood that we had to have a government that they believed could be based on modern premises as well as ancient premises, and a government and a society, a country as a whole, which included faith and virtue in the population. And that with that, we would have the possibility of sustaining over time a republic that produced real goods for its people, where the people themselves produced those goods. This is a unique thing for IWP. It's not an American history course. It is something of an American studies course, but it's more of an American culture and political theory course. We don't do American history, as I said, but we do want you to understand why it is that the American polity, the American political community, is built the way it is. And we also want you to understand the principles that obtained at the time of the founding, and also some of the principles that have come about since then that are different, competing principles, and that produce a lot of policy discussion in the United States, and sometimes worse than policy discussion. If you read the Federalist Papers, which we will in class, we'll read some of them, you'll see that the founders were very concerned, deeply concerned about the possibility of disunity in the country. They didn't really know if the country would survive very long because it was such a strange and new experiment. And they did everything they could to try to help people understand how the unity of the country was essential to the good of the country. And as you can tell, we are still in that same danger. We are never past that danger in the country. So that makes it all the more important to understand why the country is, as I said, built or designed the way it is, what goods it tries to produce, and what the various fundamental ideas, the theories, the beliefs, and the principles are that provide the American Republic or animate the American Republic and have made it what it is.